everyone and welcome to my channel. Look at this mess I have made. I've been going through all my inks trying to find exactly what I wanted for these layered orchids, and I just wanted to share them with you. Just to look at those, aren't they gorgeous? Beautiful one here, and the ridiculous blue one I did for fun, and that pink on yellow, and that's probably what I'm going to use, is the pink on yellow and the orange one there. And just so you know, in case you're wondering, these are in Memento. This is Tangelo, then Ladybug, then Grape Jelly. This one is Dandelion, then Cantaloupe, then Lilac Posies. This blue one is Danube Blue, then Bahama Blue, then Danube Blue, then Grape Jelly. And this awful one is what happens when you try and use distress ink. Least said the better. What I wanted to share with you actually was a little tip regarding layering stamps. And these are pretty new to me. I haven't really used them much. Actually today and yesterday has been the first time I've used them. And one thing I've noticed with them is when you come into some of the later layers, they can be a bit difficult to align. And I've learned a magical way to do it. Now, whether you're using a Misty, if you want to spend stupid amounts of money on that, or whether you're using acrylic blocks, or whether you're using a CD case, the same problem always kind of applies. In that you've got some stamped image that you've got, and then you layer on more layers of detail. So in the case of these, oops, so low battery warning there. In the case of these orchids, you start out with something that looks like this, and then you add on like more layers of detail. And when you get to the end, you're adding on detail that you can barely see. So when you're trying to line up, and I'll just sort of show you, if you were trying to line up that stamp over a coloured area, it's really hard because you can't really see that stamp, and you have to line it up on it before your tool will pick it up or your block will pick it up. I'm using the CD case because I'm classy. So what I learned was you can make them easier to see really easily and give them some contrast. All you have to do is put them on a block, dip them in our black archival ink and stamp it off once so there's plenty of residue left on there, and just let it dry. It won't ruin your stamp, it won't come off every time you use it, but it will stain it black. And that staining black will help you line your stamps up with other things, because now you can actually see the detail enough to be able to get your stamps lined up. That works with any photopolymer stamps, but you need black archival ink from Ranger to get it to work. So if you don't have Ranger black archival, you're going to need to get some to get that to work. No other black ink on the market is going to work with that technique. Archival stains stamps in a particular way, which means that A, doesn't come off, but B, it's highly visible, and you don't need a lot to do it. Some other inks out there will stain your stamps a little bit. I'll just show you that pale blue one there was stained with Hero Art Shadow ink, but it doesn't give you the contrast that you really need, and it spreads out a little bit, so you're not going to be able to see the fine detail. But Ranger Archival works perfectly. Not a sponsored video, not been paid by Ranger, sadly to say that, but it's just a fact of it. It's an oil-based dye ink, and there is nothing like it for staining stamps. So I highly recommend that to help you line up your layering stamps to get even more beautiful images. And I'm going to be doing another video later on this really exciting stamp layering tool that, I mean, I know a lot of people use variations on a CD case, but I've come up with some modifications that make life a lot easier, and that will enable you to make lovely layered images just like these ones using your layering stamps. Thank you all very much, and good evening.